I'm in better shape in my 60s than I was in my 30s, and I beat cancer to get here. So when I tell you I've spent over $200 on collagen supplements this year, you better believe I've done some homework. My friend swears by bone broth instead and says it's much more natural. So I spent 3 weeks reading every study I could find to figure out which one actually works for those of us serious about thriving after 50. Let's get into what the science actually says. Hey everyone, I'm Gary B. I'm a cancer survivor. I'm a longevity expert, and I'm living proof that your 60s can be better than your 30s. Welcome back to the channel where we cut through the wellness noise and the BS, and we focus on what actually works for those of us who are serious about thriving after 50. Today, we're settling the great collagen debate. Yes, this is a great debate. And this matters for us because after 50, we are losing so much collagen, and it goes at an accelerated rate. Yes, our face is dropping and our skin is becoming more wrinkly. Well, some people say bone broth is the ancient superfood, and others swear by collagen peptides. So who's the winner? As someone who's been rebuilding my health from the ground up after the cancer diagnosis, I've tried both, and I've studied the research obsessively. Here's the truth. One of these gives you therapeutic doses backed by science, and the other is delicious but inconsistent. I've dug into the studies to figure out which one actually moves the needle for gut health, joint support, and keeping our skin from looking like a roadmap. All right, let's get into it. Here's what nobody tells you about life after 50. Well, your body starts picking and choosing what it wants to maintain. And apparently, collagen isn't high on the priority list. After 50, we lose about 1% of our collagen per year, and that accelerates as we age. For me, after beating cancer, I had to rebuild everything. My joints hurt. My gut was a mess from treatment. My skin looked like I'd aged 10 years overnight. I was in my late 50s, and I felt like I was moving backwards. When I got serious about collagen, the wellness space was screaming at me from all directions. Bone broth enthusiasts saying it's the ancient cure-all. One supplement companies promising youth in a scoop. Instagram influencers making wild claims without a single citation. So I did what any obsessive former patient does. I read the research, all of it, because when you fought for your health, you don't waste time or money on things that don't work. The confusion's real because both bone broth and collagen supplements, they contain collagen, but they're wildly different. One requires simmering bones for 24 hours and the other you mix in your coffee. But more importantly, and this is what matters for most of us over 50 trying to maintain muscle mobility and independence, they deliver completely different amounts of the active compounds that actually work. Let me show you what I've learned. Point one, gut health. Let's start with gut health, because if you know me, you know that I believe gut health is foundational, especially if you've been through any health crisis or just want to feel energized as you age. Here's what we know. Collagen supplements have stronger and more consistent research supporting gut health benefits. Studies on collagen peptides suggest they support gut barrier function and may help reduce inflammation. Small clinical studies have reported improvements in digestive symptoms in people with conditions like ulcerative colitis. Now, these are small studies. We're not talking about thousands of participants, but the mechanism makes biological sense to me. Collagen provides amino acids like glycine and glutamine that literally help rebuild your gut lining. Think of your gut barrier as a security gate. Collagen gives you the materials to keep it strong and selective. While undergoing my own treatment, my gut was destroyed. I had inflammation, food sensitivities. I'd never had them before, and I just felt awful after eating. Getting my gut right was non-negotiable, and if I wanted to absorb nutrients, maintain energy, and rebuild my strength. You see, a lot of these foods like glyphosate that are sprayed on your foods, or you're taking ibuprofen, they destroy your gut lining, and you get what's known as a leaky gut. So when you're eating food, some of the food particles are leaking through your gut and sending a warning signal to the rest of your body that it's trying to fight some kind of foreign invader. So first we have to heal our guts. I started with 10 grams of collagen peptides daily. Within 6 weeks, the difference was undeniable. Less bloating, better digestion, and I had more energy. Was it the only thing I did? No, but it was a critical piece of the foundation. Bone broth provides collagen as gelatin, along with amino acids and minerals, and recent research suggests its nutrients may help strengthen the gut barrier, reduce inflammation, and enhance nutrient absorption. But, and this is important, there are significantly fewer studies examining bone broth specifically compared to standardized collagen supplements. If you're specifically trying to support gut health and you want consistent, measurable results, collagen supplements will give you the therapeutic doses every time. Bone broth is supportive, nourishing, gentle on the sensitive gut, but you need to drink multiple cups daily to match the supplement doses. Okay, point 2 is joint health. This is where those of us over 50 really need to pay attention, because this determines whether we're hiking at 70 or watching from the couch. Collagen supplements provide a consistent dose of amino acids that support connective tissues, specifically cartilage, which is that flexible tissue cushioning your bones. And let me tell you, when you're in your 60s, you become intimately familiar with every joint in your body. Studies on collagen-supported connective tissues are right here. Here's what's fascinating. Hydrolyzed collagen breaks down into smaller peptides that your body can easily absorb. These peptides may also signal your body to increase its own collagen production. It's like reminding your cells, hey, we still need this stuff. Don't give up on us yet. Well, clinical studies have shown that collagen supplementation may help reduce joint pain and stiffness in individuals with osteoarthritis and in physically active adults. We're talking about actual measurable improvements in people who took collagen consistently for 8 to 12 weeks. Now, bone broth does contain collagen along with naturally occurring compounds like glucosamine and chondroitin, which also supports joint health. But this is the problem. The nutrient content varies wildly depending on how it's made. One analysis found that bone broth provided lower, less reliable levels of amino acids compared to therapeutic doses from collagen supplements. Well, you might be getting some benefits. It's not consistent. So here's my story. I'm more active in my 60s than I was in my 30s. I lift weights, I hike, I move like someone half my age, but that didn't happen by accident. When I was recovering from my cancer diagnosis and rebuilding my strength, my joints were the limiting factor. I started taking 15 grams of collagen daily, and within a couple months, the stiffness that made me feel old, well, it was gone. I could do squats again. I could get down on the floor and back up without planning the journey. With bone broth, it's comforting, probably doing something positive, but nowhere near the same targeted impact. And for those of us who want to stay strong and mobile into our 70s and 80s, consistent dosing matters. Okay, point 3, I know this is the one you've all been waiting for, skin health. Let's talk about skin, because after 50, this becomes about looking healthy and vital, not chasing some Instagram filter fantasy. Multiple studies show that taking collagen peptides can increase skin elasticity and reduce the appearance of wrinkles and improve skin hydration. Research suggests that taking 2.5 to 10 grams of collagen daily for 8 to 12 weeks may lead to visible improvements. That's a pretty specific dosing range backed by actual studies, and we're not talking about anecdotal, I feel younger, but measurable improvements in elasticity and hydration using scientific instruments. Here's what it looks like in real life. After cancer treatment, my skin was paper thin, crepey, and dry, and I looked exhausted even when I felt good. And after 3 months on 10 grams of collagen daily, people started asking me what I was doing differently. My skin had more resilience, better texture. I looked like someone who was thriving, not just surviving. Bone broth contains amino acids that may support skin health. That's about as far as the research goes. There was one small study that found that collagen-rich chicken soup improved skin elasticity and tone, but that's one study on soup. Well, we need more research, guys. Look, I'm in my 60s and I'm not trying to look 25. That ship has sailed a long time ago, but I'm fine with it. But I do want to look vibrant and healthy for my age. For skin-focused goals like maintaining firmness and minimizing the appearance of age, collagen supplements offer the most reliable, consistent results without a doubt. With bone broth, you're getting supportive nutrition, but it's not a skin treatment. The goal at our age isn't to reverse time. It's to look like the healthiest, most most vital version of ourselves, and that requires consistent therapeutic doses of the right nutrients. So here's something that really does matter though, collagen content. A typical collagen supplement gives you 10 to 20 grams of collagen per serving. That's a therapeutic dose backed by the research. Bone broth, you're looking at 1 to 6 grams per cup, maybe, depending on how it's made, how long it's simmered, what bones were used. Well, you get the idea. So if the research shows benefits at 10 grams daily, you need to drink at least 2 cups of really good bone broth to maybe hit that target. Or you could take 1 scoop of collagen powder and call it a day. I'm not saying bone broth is useless. I'm saying that if you have specific health goals and want to have consistent results, the math favors supplements. Okay, so what do we actually do with this information? Well, here's my protocol as someone who's rebuilt their health from the ground up and is now stronger in my 60s than I was decades ago. If you're serious about maintaining mobility and independence as you age, you have specific health goals for gut repair, joint support, skin resilience, you want consistent measurable doses backed by research, and you're committed to staying active and vital after 50, I think that's all of us, right? Start with 10 to 15 grams daily, and I personally take 15 grams every morning in my coffee. It's non-negotiable. It's like brushing my teeth. Look for hydrolyzed collagen peptides from grass-fed sources. Believe me, there's a lot of bad sources of collagen out there that have harmful ingredients, so check to make sure it's been tested and verified. I mix it in my coffee, smoothies, or just in plain water. Give it 12 weeks. I know it's a commitment. Feels like forever, but that rebuilding tissue takes time. Mark your calendar, take a photo on day 1 and track how you feel after 12 weeks. If you're not noticing improvements in joint comfort, gut function, or skin quality, then you can reassess. Now, I do make bone broth occasionally because it's nourishing, warming, and it's great when I'm recovering from hard training or feeling run down or recovering from a fast. It's real food with minerals and electrolytes. I just don't count on it for my daily collagen intake. Here's what I've learned after the age of 50. You can't coast anymore. Your body needs intentional support. The choices you make today determine whether you're hiking mountains at 75 or struggling with stairs at 65. Collagen supplementation is just one of the foundational pieces that keeps me strong, mobile, and feeling decades younger than my age. Here's a pro tip. Pair your collagen with vitamin C. It actually helps with absorption and collagen synthesis, and I take mine with citrus or vitamin C supplement. A few important things to mention. Your body might respond differently than what studies show on average. Some people notice huge benefits, others notice nothing, and that's biology for you. Not all collagen supplements are created equal. Look for third-party tested products, ideally with hydrolyzed collagen peptides. For bone broth, homemade with quality bones will always be better than most store-bought versions, which can be glorified salty water. Once again, this isn't medical advice. I'm not your doctor. If you have a specific digestive issue, joint problems, or skin conditions, talk to an actual healthcare provider. Collagen supplements are generally safe, but they won't replace proper medical treatment if you need it. Both collagen supplements and bone broth are derived from animal sources, so if you have allergies to beef, chicken, or fish, check your labels very carefully. So there you have it. Collagen supplements win for targeted, consistent health benefits with solid research backing. Bone broth is nutritious and comforting, but shouldn't be your primary strategy for staying young and strong after the age of 50. If this resonated with you and you're serious about thriving after 50, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe to our newsletter, The Best in Longevity News. And I make these evidence-based deep dives for people like us who refuse to slow down just because of a birthday. Drop a comment. Tell me what health topic you want me to tackle next. I read every single comment. Until then, stay strong, stay curious, and remember, your best decade can be ahead of you, not behind you. Let's prove this together.